my kids' day. Welcome, welcome stargazers and earth movers. Welcome children and elders. Welcome those who wonder and those who fear. We gather tonight 3 years since the last full Christmas Eve service in this sanctuary. So nice to be with you all. We come with hope and expectation, worry and frenetic energy. We come longing for peace, needing connection, asking for guidance to our highest calling. In the words of Howard Thurman, author, theologian, and spiritual mentor to Martin Luther King Jr., Christmas returns. Christmas returns as it always does, with its assurance that life is good. It is the time of lift to the spirit, when the mind feels its way into the commonplace and senses the wonder of simple things, the evergreen tree, familiar carols, merry laughter. It is the time of illumination, when candles burn bright and our dreams find their youth again. It is the time of pause, when forgotten joys come back to mind and past dedications renew their claim. It is the time of harvest for the heart, when faith reaches out to mantle all high endeavor, and love whispers its magic word to everything that breathes. Christmas returns, as it always does, with its assurance that life is good. Dear ones, welcome to worship this Christmas Eve.
The Unitarian Church of Evanston resides on the traditional homelands of the Council of Three Fires, the Ojibwe, the Odawa, and the Potawatomi nations. In 1829, this land was recorded as being transferred from the local Potawatomi community, who had no choice but to sell their land to the U.S. government before forcibly removed west of the Mississippi River. This land was then sold to white settlers. The Chicago area is now home to one of the largest and most diverse urban Native communities in the United States. The acknowledgement of this land's history is one small effort toward building long-term solidarity with contemporary Indigenous communities. We name these realities with honor for all the ancestors, respect for our descendants, and gratitude for the land we use for sacred space.
As we light our chalice, symbol of our living tradition, please join in saying the words on the screen by Howard Thurman. I will light candles this Christmas, candles of joy despite all sadness, candles of hope where despair keeps watch, candles of courage for fears ever present, candles of peace for tempest-tossed days, candles of grace to ease heavy burdens, candles of love to inspire all my living, candles that will burn all the year long.
Because this is also the seventh night of Hanukkah, we light the menorah and celebrate with our Jewish kin the miracle of oil in the lamp sustained and kept alight despite all odds. We light the candle of the Shamash candle, the servant candle from our chalice. As one candle may kindle many others without losing its own light, so may our religious exploration kindle the light of truth for people across time and from all places. We light the first candle to remember the place of joy in our lives. We light the second candle to remember the importance of wisdom and understanding. We light the third candle to remember the power of moral action. We light the fourth candle that we might discover courage to persevere through all our struggles. We light the fifth candle to remember the dream of freedom. We light the sixth candle to call forth the strength of faith, our trust in the value of life itself. We light the seventh candle that we might imagine hope in possibility. We light the eighth candle to call the ultimate source and power of love.
Good job. Just got to make a few adjustments.
Thank you. From our Judeo-Christian roots, we have come to form religious traditions on our own. One of our most cherished of this community is the covenant, written by our first minister, the Reverend James Vila Blake. Please rise in body or spirit and join in saying the words he wrote while serving this congregation in 1894, which binds us today. Love is the spirit of this church, and there is its law. This is our great covenant, to dwell together in peace, to seek the truth in love, and to help one another. And now let us join in singing hymn number 223, Rock of Ages.
Our story this evening is called Refuge, written by Ann Booth and Sam Usher. The man led me, and I carried the woman all the way to Bethlehem. And then the baby was born. The shepherds came first, and after them came the kings. When the last king left, the scent of frankincense lingering in the air, we all slept, and the man had a dream of danger. He woke long before the sun rose and told the woman. She took the baby and kissed him. She smelled his sweet baby breath and felt his soft, warm baby skin and how his lashes tickled her cheek as he sleepily nuzzled her neck. "Time to go," she said. Then they wrapped him up warm and kissed him again, and the man came to get me. He patted me between the ears and led me out. "Come on, old friend, we're off on a journey again." And we left some gold for the innkeeper, for he had been good to us when others had not. And we set off. Under starlight, through empty streets, while people were sleeping, hoping for the kindness of strangers again. And we passed the shepherds in the fields, and there were whispered blessings, and the movement of sheep in the darkness, and the clasp of rough hands, and the love of warm hearts. And when we rested and they were frightened, they took hope from each other and from the baby's first tiny smile. And we entered into Egypt, and we found refuge.
Today's offering goes to our Pastoral Care Fund, which provides support to members and friends of the congregation who find themselves needing a little financial support at times. This is the one service of the year that we collect for the Pastoral Care Fund. We are a caring community, and our shared covenant is to help one another when we can. So as you give tonight, consider that you may be helping someone in this very room at a critical moment in their lives. I invite you to give as generously as you are able, and may what you give bring you joy. There will be a code on the screen to give by a text, or the ushers will now pass offering baskets down the aisles. Thank you.
Out of Depths Unknown by Reverend Joan Javier Duval. Out of depths unknown, the spark of life ignites, and we are born. We enter a world, a universe not of our making. Our lives unfold in mystery and wonder. Questions abound for which there are no definite answers. And so we gather in community to seek in one another assurance and recognition, compassion and strength. We gather in community to be reminded of what is most ultimate and what is most sacred. In this spirit of searching and of reverence, let us celebrate the gift of life this night.
We welcome to the world and to this community all the beautiful children born this year who bless our lives in countless ways. We recognize your magnificence and the magnificence of all life and the spark of the divine in you. Adam, are you going to click or am I going to click? Just want to make sure. Okay, good. Christopher Ray Mandel was born on August 12th of this year. Gone ahead. Okay, good. Gianna Cutney, born November 27th of this year. And Frankie Ray, born June 1st. These are all Tony Ray's great-grandchildren born this year. Yes. Wait, hold on a sec, because I just want to say Tony thanks everyone for their positive energy sent to Christopher, who is now breathing on his own and will be leaving the hospital if he hasn't already. He's been a sick little guy, so lots of love and energy went his way. Yay. Sorry. All right, Ella Shopper Laughlin was born July 4th. This is Carolyn Laughlin's grandchild. And Mike's, too. Isla Gaffney was born June 6th. This is Meredith Hayden's grandniece. Clementine Jennifer Underwood, born May 25th. This is Kathy Underwood's grandchild. Rye Patrick Mitchell, born March 22nd, Mike Takata's grandchild. Ezra Raymond Malmud, born May 13th, Martha Holman's grandchild. Leo Angel, born December 28th of 2021 to Lindsay Kennedy and Rick Angel. Max Alexander Snowden, born August 7th to Jennifer and Matthew Snowden. And Henry Maxwell Orm Johnson, born November 17th to Amy Pooley and Ruth Orm Johnson. Yay. Welcome, dear children. May the wisdom of our experience meet the wonder of your innocence, and may we be faithful, loving companions on the journey ahead.
Each night a child is born, is a holy night, a time for singing, a time for wondering, a time for worshiping. Each night a child is born, is a holy night.
For so the children come, and so they have been coming, always the same way they come, born of the seed of humanity. Please join in singing.
Each night
No angels herald their beginnings, no prophets predict their future courses, no wise ones see a star to show where to find the babe that will save humankind.
Each night a child is born. It's a holy night, a time for singing, a time for wondering, a time for worshiping. Each night a child is born. It's a holy night.
Yet each night a child is born is a holy night. Parents and caregivers sitting beside their children's cribs feel glory in the sigh of a new life beginning. They ask, where and how will this new life end, or will it ever end?
Each night a child is born. A time. Each night a child is born. It's a holy night.
Each night a child is born is a holy night, a time for singing, a time for wondering, a time for worshiping.
Each night a child is born. It's a holy night, a time for singing, a time for wondering, a time for worshiping. Each night a child is born. It's a holy
Mother and Child Seen Anew by Anthony David. I'm wandering around an outdoor fair, starting to fade. I've got my hot cup of glug in hand and I'm feeling pretty toasty despite the cold. I hear Christmas music nearby and eventually I find three men playing Silent Night, We Wish You a Merry Christmas, and other favorites. I stand there in the fading light and enjoy the smiles of the people surrounding the musicians, their cheeks red, their holiday cheer rising. It's then that I notice the almost life-size manger nearby. I wander over to it, not really expecting that it will be any different from any other manger scene I've run across. The critical voice in my head starts acting up. It didn't really happen like that, it says. By the looks of the statues, you'd think that everyone involved in the gospel story was blonde and blue-eyed. I almost turn away, but then my eyes fall on Mary, holding the baby Jesus tightly in her arms. All of a sudden, I see, as if for the first time, the cynical voice in my head is gone. I finally see the truly amazing thing here is not so much the birth of a great liberating prophet and spiritual leader, although that in itself is an amazing thing, but where and when it happens. It happens in the unlikeliest of places. It happens in a backwater town in Judea, in a dirty and rugged manger, in a time of crushing injustice and brutality and hopelessness. If Jesus can be born in a place in a time like this, what does that mean? It means that Jesus can be born anywhere. Justice, compassion, and hope can be born anywhere, even here and now.
Where the Light Begins, A Blessing for Christmas by Jan Richardson. Perhaps it does not begin. Perhaps it is always. Perhaps it takes a lifetime to open our eyes, to learn to see what has forever shimmered in front of us. The luminous line of the map in the dark, the vigil flame in the house of the heart, the love so searing we cannot keep from singing, from crying out in testimony and praise. Perhaps this day will be the mountain over which the dawn breaks. Perhaps we will turn our face toward it, toward what has been always. Perhaps our eyes will finally open in ancient recognition, willingly dazzled, illuminated at last. Perhaps this day the light begins in us.
Perhaps it does not begin. Perhaps it is always. Perhaps it takes a lifetime to open our eyes, to learn to see. The
Remember that time, not so long ago, when the world stopped and we all stayed inside, away from each other to keep each other safe? In the before times, it seemed impossible to slow down like that, to be still for any significant amount of time, but we learned it could be done, that we could actually stop because we had to. It was a terrifying time, a time of bitter grief and devastating loss, and though we are still grieving and still losing, wisdom and beauty were unexpected gifts the stillness offered. Remember snow days? I'm not talking about yesterday's terrible wind and cold. That was no fun. I mean those magical, unanticipated days of not going to school or work because the skies opened up and poured out their glittering fairy dust in huge drifts of white frosting, freezing us in place. Snow days covered all the demands of everyday and fluffy beauty, making us stop just for a bit to experience wonder and joy, no matter what age. I remember building snow forts in my front yard and sledding out the front window and coming in soaked and cold to warm up with hot cocoa. Do you remember? Yeah. Tonight, we celebrate the gift of stillness. Tonight, we embrace the sacredness of stopping and opening up to what is possible, to consider who or what is calling us to welcome them in. Tonight, we embrace the hope of new beginnings amidst the frenzy of buying and wrapping and baking and planning and preparing. We pause yet again. Christmas gives us that gift, the chance to create quiet together in anticipation of the miracle of life. Christmas calls us to consider the inconceivable that might be born out of the depths of despair and the longest, coldest night. Christmas is a time of remembering, of hearkening back to traditions, often with the gauzy and incomplete lens of nostalgia. But Christmas is also a time to consider what is to come. One of my favorite traditions is watching It's a Wonderful Life. As a kid, we watched it as a family on Christmas Eve every year, and we'd say every line of the movie together, quite annoyingly to all the newcomers that would join our family tradition. But now I watch it with my kids, and we say every line of it together, and my husband, and it still makes me cry every time. The message of the value of a life, our impact on one another, far beyond our imagining, the power each of us possesses to transform one another, to make one another better. It just never loses its power. The movie ends with the treasure of friendship, saving the day, healing all that is broken, and generating abundance beyond belief. No one is a failure who has friends. No one is beyond the possibility of transformation that love offers. A few nights ago, the Northern Hemisphere, where we are, endured the longest night, circled round the sun, and began the long trek back to the longest day. And although we know that long nights are far from over, that suffering is far from abolished, that crisis, injustice, and tyranny still abound, there is another possibility waiting to be born. Even as every relationship may not be healed or mended, we can still hold the wish, the hope, the possibility that it may be so. We can always return, however far we stray from the task, to the work of repair, of healing, and wholeness for all. As we circle round the sun, beginning a new year filled with expectation, taking in all the delights of good smells and shiny things and snow, as we hold also our sorrow and our melancholy, remembering Christmases past, memories that can't be captured or relived, only hearkened to. We join our lights, one to another, to illuminate the way ahead. Christmas is a time to pause, to remember and also to let go, to make room for what may be, to honor the possibility born in beginnings, even over the longest, darkest night, even through the bitter cold and howling wind. What is possible when hope is all but lost and spirits nearly broken? What and who, within us and among us, may be born on this night of the pregnant pause? To whom may we be a refuge? Tonight we ask the Spirit of peace to bless this place and these people, and we give our blessing to those in need of peace all over the world. Source of love, bless the parents, the grandparents, caregivers, and guardians who tend the spirits and cultivate hope for the children in our midst. Bless the friends and companions who share their gifts of mutual caring, empathy, and respect every day. Bless those who have known grief and loneliness at this season, for their offering is of deeper understanding and wisdom. Bless the children for their love and wonder. May we build them a better world. Bless all who remain outside in the cold, those who seek food and shelter in the night. In the midst of plenty, let us remember the need for generosity beyond our walls of safety and comfort. Bless this Christmas. May the light of our candles dispel the shadows, symbolic of those which can be transformed by our love. There is magic in candlelight. That one candle can kindle a flame in many others, yet not be diminished in its own light. I share now this blessing, the imperishable flame, by the late Universalist minister Max A. Capp. Blessed are the stars of the wintry night that sprinkle the floor of heaven with their lustrous and far-shining light. Blessed is the moon that seems like a lovely maiden walking in the fields of sky, clothed with raiment of wondrous golden light. Blessed is the sun with its great brightness, curling the seasons and bringing the benediction of ever-renewed life to the earth. Blessed are the hearth fires, the lamps and tapers that hallow our homes and make a glow of beauty within the surrounding shadows. All these are wondrous fair. But blessed beyond all these is the light that lighteth every one that cometh into the world, the imperishable flame of the human spirit, touched into being by the Eternal One. O fire of reason, O fire of leaping thought, O fire of compassion and pity, O fire of friendship, O insatiable burning of the hunger for beauty, O divine glow from on high, kindled in the human heart, strangely and deathlessly. Thou art the illumined glory by which we of earth fashioned our visions and our dreams of sweeter life and nobler realms. Thou art the sacred flame discerned in every age by Persian and Jew, by Hindu and Christian, by scientist and prophet, by sage and child. We see the holy fire flaming this night in the manger cradle, and it signifies hope and promise to lift against the darkness of the night. Many there have been in other centuries and other years who have been guardians of this flame. They have carried it to the shadowed regions of the world. They have dispelled ignorance and superstition and cruelty and injustice. They have been way showers and light bearers. They have thrown back the frontiers of darkness and planted the sacred torches boldly in far and perilous places. Now it is our watch. Now the light will move from the manger cradle to the silent and saddened and songless streets of the world only if our hearts carry it. and our hands shield it from the blasts of wintry selfishness. Many are the windows of the world that will stay darkened unless we light them. It is our watch now. Come then, apostles, come great hearts, come dreamers and singers and poets, come builders, come healers, come those of the soil and those who command the might of machines, carry the sacred flame to make light the windows of the world. It is we who must be keepers of the flame. It is we who must carry the imperishable fire. It is our watch now. We will begin with the light of a single flame. As we pass the flame from candle to candle, hold the burning candle upright and steady. Everybody got their candles? Everybody got them? Okay, good. Hold your candle up steady, and then the person next to you can tip the unlit candle to the one with the flame, and in turn hold it steady for the next one, and on until the light is shared throughout this room. Kathy and I will walk up the aisles and light the center flames, and you'll light them all the way across. And those of you participating from home, you too are a part of this moment, so please light your candles, turn low your lights, and we will feel that we are all of one flame. As the light grows, consider how love is shared, and as it is shared, it too grows. And as we pass the light and the love through this congregation, within these walls and beyond, we will sing our final carol, Silent Night. as we in our own time extinguish the light of our chalice and the candle light that you hold, know that we carry the warmth, the fire, and the power of these flames in our hearts out into the waiting and the longing world. The world needing our love and our light. Let us keep them burning bright. These are the adapted words of A. Powell Davies. None of our private worlds is big enough for us to live a wholesome life in. We need the wider world of joy and wonder, of purpose and venture, of toil and tears. What are we, any of us, but strangers and sojourners, forlornly wandering through the nighttime until we draw together and find the meaning of our lives in one another, dissolving our fears in each other's courage, making music together and lighting torches to guide us through the dark. We belong together. Love is what we need. To love and be loved. Let our hearts be open, and what we would receive from others, let us give. For what is given still remains to bless the giver when the gift is love. Go in peace, beloveds. Merry Christmas.